Welcome, everyone. And I realize that we didn't get a chance to invite or welcome everybody. We did with agency managers, but it's good to see you guys. Congratulations for making the decision to be here. I don't take it lightly. None of our speakers and trainers are going to take it lightly. We understand that there were inconveniences, money. Some of you had plenty of money. Some of you had no money. Dog sitters, babysitters, parent sitters. People got sick, cars broke, flight delays. You had to pay for planes, blah, 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 blah. You could have picked any of 100 excuses, but you overcame it, and you're here, and we're very appreciative you made it. Give yourself a hand. God, I'm so excited about these miracles and these peels. I've heard of such. I'm glad that these people got their peels. I saw Mimi and Jeremy Coe, and they were back there. They look like different people. Okay. So, I don't know if you can relate, but I'll throw it out there. Like when I was little and people would say, what are you going to do when you get older? And I was just thinking, I hope to do the same kind of fun stuff. You know, shoot stuff, go fishing, swimming in the pond, concerts, basketball, wiffle ball, Monopoly, television. Like, could we go to wrestling a lot when I get older? But what kind of job you want? I couldn't think of a job. I like you people. I want to be an army man. I want to be a nurse, baseball player. I just wanted to have a good time. I just really wanted to. Thank you for Gina for saying how much I work. I think Gina Hawks may compete with me on work as much as she travels. Do y'all agree? And I know we have a lot of hardworking people, and I don't work like I used to. I tried to quit. Wait, I don't want to get my timeline out. So I just wanted freedom. And my first glimpse of that was at college, at NC State. I know I was an engineer. I was studying for that. I didn't want to do that. I thought it'd be a good sticker to get, an NC State sticker, an engineer. But my mama told me about this place where you could mail money off. $100, get back $500. $1,000 gets you $1,000. $250 gets you $1,250. $5,000 gets you $25,000. Y'all seeing the pattern? Okay. So it'd take about 5 weeks to get the money back. And that was my career choice it was almost a year. It was incredible. I wish we'd have got in earlier, and I wish we'd have went in faster and harder. So if you're brand new, I would tell you, you're here. If I were you, I would go in faster and harder because you just don't know when they're going to shut this thing down. And I know there's new people going, wait, what? Most of my life, that's what it's like. I didn't know when it was going to get shut down. I knew it was going to shut down. I just didn't know when. So I got a job because I fell in love with this cute little girl, Jane Albright, who I'm still married to and still in love with. And she, as I have heard psychologists and people talk about women that like security and regular income coming in and guarantees and, stuff like that, versus sometimes guys, and I know it's sometimes girls, it's no exception, but guys just want to go kill something. They just want to attack. They want a contest, a game, or whatever. And that's what I wanted. But she wanted, a house and car and air conditioning and heat and food and all that stuff. And so I had to get a job, but I didn't give up the dream. At night, I was still scheming. And I'm getting involved with every multi-level money market, anything I could do that involved me getting somebody else to do all the work. It's such a contradiction when she says how much I work, and my goal was to figure out a way that I could get 10,000 or 40,000 or 100,000 other people to do a little bit. It made sense to me. And I had a job Now, this goes back, you got to keep in mind, this goes back 30 years ago. I had 400 employees. And you can look it up, it's documented. I worked at Burlington Industries, that it was eventually Swift Textiles, and this textile mill had 3,000 employees. And I worked it up to where I had 400 of them on my team. And we had a great time. I mean, sweepers, fixers. Oh, I'm starting to have all the stories that come back I don't have to tell, but just so much fun in that textile mill. And it was a union environment. The Amalgamated Textile Workers of America was the union. And we're not, we're non-union, we're management, but they're union, they're against us. But we would be drinking at night. Me and Jabho and Marquise and Teresa, we'd just be out partying. And I'd be at work, and this guy's like, "We heard you's out partying with the union people." I'd be like, "Yeah, we had a time." And then we would get in these big arguments, and it was like WWE for textile workers, because they would be acting like they mad, and I'm acting like that mad, but we would be, planning we was going to get together later that night. I was like, this is a fun game. But they made me come to work every day. I mean, it was like every day. We were 7 days a week, 24 hours a day manufacturing denim. Seriously, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and I had 400 employees. It was nuts. So there's no days off. And it was just all the way around. So 24/7, it was nuts. I learned so much. I worked so much, and I'm making $80,000 a year, not a month, a year. 30 years ago, so you could say I was making $300,000 if you want to kind of equivalent. So we weren't hurting, but I wanted freedom. I wanted massive money. I wanted to be able to travel the world. I wanted to buy cars. I wanted to load my wife up with diamonds and jewelry and houses. I wanted to have houses, and I wanted front row seats. I wanted guns and more guns. And I just wanted freedom. I had 2 secretaries. I had one where opening and winding and stuff. Opening and blending, and then I had one all the way down where we were kicking out the yarn that went down to the weave room. It went to dyeing first, and then the weave room. So I had all these people upstairs, downstairs, everywhere. It was just crazy. Hiring people, firing people, arguing with the union. It was just so much fun. But, $80,000, I'm just like, or $300,000. If you're making $300,000, you kind of know what I mean. Like, you're making $300,000, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, you're making $300,000." Like, yeah, kinda. But I don't have an unlimited vacation, can't buy a Ferrari with that, can't buy a Lamborghini. Hard to buy a 50 cal with that. And if you can afford to buy a 50 cal, you can't afford the bullets. So that's where I was. And so I got in this legal network marketing called Amway. Loved it. My wife, not so much. Because now I'm working 24 hours a day at a textile mill, and I'm working 24 hours a day in Amway. And that's where I about died 5 or 6 times. Like, not kidding. Like, one time I woke up, I was driving this Chevy S10 pickup truck, and I woke up because I hit a ditch, and I was in the air. And I'm like, shit. Where am I? And I went over this fence, flying over it, and I hit the pasture. I said, whew. I tried to crank it up, crank back up, but it wouldn't move. I got out, and the wheel was off. I was like, wonder where I am. Almost died. I ride down the road sometimes with my kids. I run over that mailbox. I've hit that mailbox. Because, you wake up when it hits, bam, you wake back up and keep going. One time I was going down the road. One time I woke up on the road because I heard something going. And I was in my Lincoln, I bought my mama's Lincoln Town Car, and I looked up, and all I could see was the grass hitting the front of that car going, and I was like, I wonder if I'm on the left side of the road or the right side. So I just stopped, because I didn't want to turn left. It might be trees, and I didn't know which way was which, so I stopped. And I got out. I figured out where it was. I got back on the road and took off. And then I stopped because I saw a red light. Kept sitting there, and I was like, I got out, I looked, shoot. It was a tower, like one of those red light towers, way up there, but it looked like it was right there. And 100 others, like I can just keep going with these, like literally pneumonia. Doctor was like, you're gonna die. I was like, nah. She's like, literally, she said, you gotta lay down and sleep. And I was like, I'll lay down, but I'm gonna be on the phone. Remember that? So I was working on the phone, laying down, because I was gonna die, because my lungs was filling up with fluids. But I would rather die than live it out in jail. Like one of my favorite movies is Shawshank Redemption. My man was tunneling out one handful at a time. Remember that? That's me. I was going to get out one way at a time. I had to get out. And so I made enough money in between the job and the network with Amway, selling soaps and potions and lotions and pills. And Jane wanted to quit, start having babies. I mean, I'm skipping a lot. We went through cancer. She's a cancer survivor. And she just reminded me we lost a baby before she had Haley. Because I was like, if you had cancer 35 years ago and Haley's only 30, I thought we got pregnant like right after you waited 2 years. And she said, yeah, we did take 2 years. And then I got a miscarriage. I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's just a million little things happened. This big things happened, little thing. And then Haley, so she quits, and then I'm still just working 24/7, 2 jobs 24/7. And then I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna quit. And she's like, can we financially? I was like, well, we owe nothing because I've spent nothing, and yeah, we can quit. So we wanted, and my dad was dying. I want to move up and be near him and get Haley to know my dad, and we hopefully have more children. I want the other children to meet Dad. So we moved up here. So we're free, no job. I started a coupon book business, Taste of Alamance. You're in Alamance County, so we built a book called A Taste of Alamance. And then I say we, me and Fitzgerald and a couple other buddies and Jane. And then my cousin Russell. Cuz, you in the house? There he is. Cuz said you should get an insurance license. And I says, why? And he said, an idiot could make $100,000 a year. He's like a moron. And keep in mind, this was 24 years ago, almost 25 years ago. And he was like, 25,000 is easy. And I looked at him. I said, cuz, are you making 100 grand? And he said, yeah. I said, you're right. Anybody. And he was like, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that's right. Like he was not fighting me. He was like, I'm telling you, I'm doing that good. You will kill it. And I was like, all right. I get my lot. Well, first of all, I was like, tell me how it works. He said, you send the insurance company $100 and they send you $500. I said, my money? He said, no, the person's money. I said, we don't have to send our money? He said, no, you get them to send 100, they send you 500. I was like, why are they sending 100? He said, because they get 100,000 when they die. I said, am I responsible for the 100 grand? He's like, no. I said, what I got to do? He said, you just get them to send $100 and get them to fill out an application. I said, there's a catch. How much does the applications cost? Because I've never been in a business where you could sell something you ain't bought. You think about that? You don't pay nothing. They just give it to you. You sell it. This will be unlimited if we get everybody else's money. And then my next question is, can we get other people to do it? And he said, I don't know how that works. I said, I'm going to find out how that works. And we found F&G. Is F&G in the house? Has anybody sold an F&G policy? So they had 12 tiers. 12 levels, and I was like, we're getting ready to get rich. I started calling Abian and Katz and Fitz and Macus and Patrick and Leeser, and we're calling it. I'm like, boys, we found something. It's legit. We can network it like crazy. You don't have to pay anything for inventory. It's unlimited. Unlimited free inventory. And so we went after it. We had 8 things that you had to do. We preached it like you will die. We hate you, and we really want you to quit if you don't do these 8 steps. We screamed it. Every one of us memorized it. And Genius here wrote a book. And then we quit telling people that they had to do it because it was in a book. We just assumed they were doing it, but they're not. So, I don't know. That might have been a mistake, but we got the book now with the 8 steps. But we preached it, and we started. First year I made $200,000. I would say 98% of it was overrides. I started on a 60% contract because I told the guy that recruited me, I said, I'm going to bring 3 people, Fitz, Katz, and Cuz. Adam Katz, Alex Fitzgerald, and Cuz. I'm going to bring them, so I should start on a 60, put them on a 55. He said, I'll let you have a 60. I said, all right. So I think I worked myself up to a 75 or 80, and I made $200,000. Then I made $400,000 next year, and then I made $800,000 the third year, and then the 4th year was over $2 million. And it was and I was still living in my daddy's house with Jay. We moved back to Burlington, living there, and it's been absolutely crazy. So if I could encourage you to do the 8 steps, that'd be great. I've been trying to think of ways to trick people for 30 years now, 24 in insurance. One of them is the building game. Preston, can you come up and help me with a building game? I want to help you understand the building game. It's really like I was telling somebody, you understand, this is like Monopoly or chess or checkers or wiffle ball with real money, with real people, and you can make the money and spend it on anything you want. And then people have a hard time understanding it. And I'm going to keep trying and trying and trying. I need y'all to help me explain to people how to do it. So this game tries to help people to understand it. I really want you to correct me if I'm wrong. So the way it works, if you hire somebody and they fill out the fast track, which is just the paperwork, it's nothing, it's free, you get 10 points. So as many people as you hire, it's 10, 10, 10, 10. So you're hiring them direct to you. Who was it saying? Riddle saying, how many legs do you have? It's how many people you hire direct to you. But then if they hire somebody, that's a second level, you get 20 points, okay, for each one. So you hire 10 people, that'd be 10 times 10 is 100. As they get contracted, which means they're licensed, and they get contracted with a carrier, you get 25 points. So if you get a person fast-tracked and contracted, it's 35 points. Okay? So if you had 10 people licensed and contracted, that's 350 points. And then when these people get people underneath them, your points double. Okay? So it goes to 20 and 50. Now, you get anybody to sell something, each dollar of their sale direct to you, they get a point. Please, if you have somebody in your downline that don't understand this, it's if you can just get them to play the game. I know it's weird that people should do it to become multimillionaires, but they don't. It's all emotional. So if anybody direct to you sells, it's 1-to-1 for points. But if the second layer gets it, they get 2-to-1 on points.
You get the points.
I get the points.
You get the points.
So you get the points if the person 2 in depth does it. So if they sell 10,000, you get 20,000 points. Now it triples when you go deeper. So if you hire your best friend, hire people under them. And then if they hire people under them, hire people under them. That's called deep. You got people that don't understand it. Explain it to them. And you get more points. What do you get if you get a lot of points? We've got 8 different groups. We've got Katz, Abian, Riddle, Leventovich, Davies, me, Fitz.
Are we missing one?
That's all. Manly. Okay. So can we get them to put up the leaderboard that shows, can we do the slide that shows who's winning the amount of points? Okay. The hierarchy points. Yeah. Okay, slide 1. Okay, you can leave it here for 1 second. So the number 1 person on Kat's team wins 50,000 points. Number 1 person on Manly's team wins 50,000 points. These are points to Thailand. Okay? And the number 2 person, and so on. There's 25 people on Manly's team, 25 on Avian. Here's the catch. You got to have minimum 10. You can't be number 2 in Manly's group and only have like 200 points. You don't get 46,000 to go to Thailand because you hired 2 people because his team's not that great. But if somebody else passes him, he's going to get to 50,000. The minimum point requirement in 90 days from this continued, you've got to go 10,000 is where you had to do, but because you've already got a base set up, you've got to get up to
50,000.
So you got to get up to 50,000 points by going wide and deep and getting people to sell in order to get any points. Well, clearly, Bakari, she's already at like 64,000. So if she maintains number 1, she'll get 50,000 more points, right? All right, this is a psychological move right here. Tell them the catch.
60,000 points maximum among all contests.
Okay. So if you don't have any points and you pass her on Katz's team, you get 50,000. If she keeps winning, she gets another 10,000. It's not complicated, okay? And then nobody, like hardly anybody, one on your team or only one person, it's everybody that can get over 50,000 points in the next 90 wins. And you see what's possible with Katz's team, okay? So for everybody new, we're going to start now a new contest that'll be identical to the one we just ran. 0 points. You get up to 10,000, and it's 8 different contests, 10,000 points. Then you can win 50,000 points to Thailand. New contest. And by the way, Aisha, you can start over again by putting in new width. So you're continuing your same game, and then you're doing it again in width. Now, your width keeps counting in your first contest, and then you're getting new points in the second contest. So now we've got 16 different leaderboards. Abian, you'll have 2 leaderboards. Manly, you'll have 2 leaderboards. Make sense? You can win another 50,000. You could win another 50,000 with the first contest and another 50,000 with the second contest.
With a maximum of 60 total.
You already won 46. Well, you can win 14,000 more. See the math? I'm quick with that add and subtract and multiplication and division. I'm like hell on wheels when it comes to math, especially if I've got my phone with me. Got it? Leadership, got it? It's a game. Win. And what will happen is you look at your bank account. Listen to this. Bakari she's got a job. I'm not sure if it's multiple 6 figures. When I asked her if it was 6 figures, she laughed. She said, yes, it's a lot more than that. Is it more than 200,000? Bakari? No? Do they pay you 200,000 on your job? What do they pay you? Close to 200,000. So close to 200,000 on her job. Okay, so you kind of like when I was making 80 grand, you're making 200, you're broke, right? I mean, what are you going to do with 200,000? Government takes half. It's ridiculous. She made 45,000 so far this year on the side. When did she join us? A whole year ago? When did you join? November of last year. And she's made 45,000 this year. January, February, March, on top of her salary of her job. And she's 3 in debt from Adaki, or 4. It goes Stella, Adaki. Stella hired Adaki. Adaki hired Eminem. Eminem hired Aisha. So that's 4 deep. 4 deep from Emily Katz, boom, and then she made 45,000. And think how many points that is, because she's deep. You understand? You got it? All right. Love y'all. Thank you very much.